I'm Dr. Jones. I want to take a quick moment and address a couple common questions that I get here in the office and out in the public quite a bit. And that is, what is chiropractic and what do chiropractors even do? Now, in order to answer that question, we need to go all the way back to when you first started to form. Everybody starts as two cells. We start one from your mother, one from your father. Those two cells come together and they start to divide. They get to form more and more and more cells until you get this big blob of cells, which, what's the first thing that forms? You know, a lot of people say the heart, because that's what you always hear on commercials, you know, the beating heart. However, it's actually the brain. The brain is the first thing to start. Now, from the brain, extend your spinal cord then. So down goes your spinal cord. Okay, so that's what you start off as. Now, from here, nerves start to form. Going down, they form your extremities, into your legs, go down into your arms. And that's you as you begin to develop. Now, there's also nerves that come down and they form these little buds. And at the end of those nerves, those buds, that's what forms your organs. So your heart, your lungs, your liver, kidneys, intestine, stomach, all of that. That's what begins to form at the end of all these buds. Now, the first thing that formed, again, was your brain. So it's pretty important. It's the most important thing in your entire body. Without that, you don't have life. So up here is where all your life resides. You actually have 100% life within your brain. So your brain's pretty important. It's one of the only organs in your body that has its own bone protecting it, and that's the skull. So there it is, that's the skull. Now, your spinal cord extends from your brain, so that's pretty important as well. So now it has the vertebrae and the spinal column protecting it. So these are all the vertebrae all the way down. Obviously that's not drawn to scale, but you get the point. So that's the vertebrae. Now, all these organs are pretty important as well. However, you can get new organs, you can get them replaced, all these miraculous things that they can do now with medicine. So not quite as important, however, they are still important. So you get a rib cage wrapped around them, okay? So that's how you get formed. Now, with all these nerves going out to everything, all your organs, your extremities, into your arms, your legs, they've actually done tests where they've hooked a wire up to your nerves, up to a nerve I should say, and they attach that to a light bulb. They found that nerves actually have electricity. They conduct electricity, about 1 to 3 volts. Now, that amount of electricity they found can light up a light bulb. Pretty neat, huh? They also found that by putting a little bit of pressure on that nerve, say back here, it's just the weight of a nickel, can decrease the brightness of that light bulb. They further found that if you put more than the weight of that nickel pressure on that nerve, the light goes completely off. So not a lot of pressure needs to be put on a nerve in order for it to not function properly and even not function at all. So they're very, very fragile. Doesn't take a whole lot to affect them. I mean, just look at Christopher Reeves. He broke his upper neck, completely paralyzed. He is on all sorts of different machines to keep him alive then. So it's very important that all these nerves function properly. We need to make sure that this 100% life that's in your brain comes down and goes to all your organs, your tissues, your muscles, your ligaments. Now, all throughout our life, these vertebrae, they move. They allow you to move, okay? Now, through twisting, bending, sitting, falls, car crashes, sporting injuries, a whole list of different things can cause all these vertebrae to move, get stuck basically, and therefore starts putting pressure on nerves. So when this pressure starts, let's say it's going to your heart. The heart is not going to function properly then, because it has that little bit of pressure on the nerve. Okay? actually only feel 10% of your body. So if that nerve isn't functioning properly going to your heart, you don't feel that, because there's 90% of your body that you can't feel. You can't feel your heart right now. You can't feel your right lung, your left kidney. You can't feel your liver. So you can't feel any of that. I mean, yeah, you can feel your skin, your arms, your legs, things like that, but you can't feel the rest of your body. There's 90% that you can't feel. So that little bit of pressure on that nerve going to your heart could cause a lot of different problems. What's the number one killer in the US right now? It's heart disease. People don't know they have heart disease until they have a heart attack. Well, how are they feeling a day before that, a week before that, a month before that? They're fine. All of a sudden they have a heart attack because they've had heart disease operating silently that entire time. They didn't know it because they couldn't feel it. You can't feel high cholesterol. You can't feel your kidneys not functioning properly, your liver not functioning properly until you have major, major symptoms and a lot of things going on in there, okay? So that's where, and that's why, chiropractic is so important. We look at the spine, we analyze the spine, we check to see how the nerves are functioning so that we can make sure that this 100% life is going down and out to all the organs, so that you don't get, you can put off the heart disease, or it doesn't have to start to form because those nerves are functioning properly. I mean, I think it's important enough that heart disease is the number one killer, that everybody goes and gets their spine checked in the area where the nerves come out and go to the heart every single week, because that's the number one killer. Did I say with chiropractic, we don't have to use needles, we don't use drugs, no surgery. All we use is our hands, okay? We make the adjustments to the spine, get those nerves functioning properly, get them functioning at 100% again, so that you start feeling better. That's what we do. We look for all those places in your spine where the nerves aren't functioning properly. That's why a lot of times somebody may come in with low back pain. They also have like asthma or allergies, acid reflux, any list of diseases or other symptoms they have going on. Throughout the course of care, all those start to go away as well, because the nerves are functioning better. Then your body can self-regulate, it can heal itself without the use of anything else. And that's why it's so, so important that everybody you know, your family, your friends, your co-workers, everybody come and get their spine checked to make sure that their nerves are functioning properly and they don't get into these states with chronic